Sit on my knee.
Oh my goodness.
I read my handbook.
Fine. This meeting. Look for a lot.
Good evening. Welcome to our meeting. So this is a regular meeting of the board. So 2.02, the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we get started, welcome back. It's nice to see all your faces. We know you're super tired, so we'll make this short and sweet. 2.03, adoption of the agenda. It is recommended that the agenda for August 16, 2023, regular meeting of the Board of School Trustees be adopted as presented. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comment? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. 3 is recognition. 4 is comments and questions from the floor. 4.01, representatives of the Mishawaka Parent Group. 4.02, representatives of school employees. 4.03, representatives of the Mishawaka Education Foundation. And we have Kara Patton.
I'm just passing the things along. Remember that tonight, haven't got your tickets, get them, and bid. I'm supposed to let you know that. It is to help with school libraries. That's where the Pages in Time theme is. It's going to be all about school libraries. I'm looking. I'm sorry, I'm tired. MEF payroll deduction campaign is on its way right now, and there are a bunch of new wish lists that are listed right now because teachers want things for their classrooms. So open up your wallets and help those teachers out. That's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. 4.04 is the general public, and we have no one signed up to speak. Moving on to 5, consent agenda. 5.01, approval of the minutes of the August 2nd, 2023 regular board meeting. It is recommended that the minutes of the August 2nd, 2023 regular board meeting be approved as presented. 5.02, approval of the bill warrants and payroll. It is recommended that the board approve the payments of bill warrants and payroll in the amount of $9,846,062.78 from the appropriate funds. 5.03, approval of the accounts payable voucher. It is recommended that the board approve the accounts payable voucher as presented. 5.04, approval of the mileage reimbursement form. It is recommended that the board approve the mileage reimbursement form as presented. 5.05, approval of the professional learning and travel guidelines. It is recommended that the board approve the professional learning and travel guidelines as presented. 5.06, approval of the consent agenda. It is recommended that the Board of School Trustees approve the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. There is nothing in 6 in reports and discussion items. 7 is human resources. 7.01, personnel report. Mr. Laban.
Thank you, President Parks, members of the board, and guests. This evening, we're recommending the appointment of 5 certified positions and 30 non-certified positions. As of this evening, we've welcomed just shy of 95 new employees to the Mishawaka family, so something to celebrate there. And as I shared with our staff on Monday at the back to school celebration, certainly pleased to celebrate that we are 100% staffed with all of our certified employees. And while we certainly have some program assistant vacancies and other non-support staff positions, if anyone's interested who's watching, mishawakaschools.com, we're about 90% staffed with our non-certified employees as well. So I recognize that's not a reality of every school corporation, both near and far. So we're pleased with that. We're humbled with that. And I want to acknowledge the work of many folks here at the Ad Center and then our building level leaders as well for their hard work in making that possible. So this evening, much to celebrate, but it's recommended that the Board of School Trustees approve the personnel report dated August 16th, 2023 as presented.
Move for approval.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you to all the new staff and great job. 7.02, approval of the employment with an individual employees. Mr. Laban.
Thank you, President Parks. Pursuant of the newly revised Indiana Code as listed, it's recommended that the Board of School Trustees approve employment with the individuals as listed in the administrative.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Nice. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. There is nothing in curriculum instruction and technology. Moving on to 9, business and operations. 9.01, approval of the updated 403B and 401A plan documents with One America. Ms. Sanders.
Thank you so much for having me tonight. I have been working with Tracy and Rachel over the last months on trying to simplify our plan a little bit, make it a little bit more user-friendly, for lack of a better word. And part of that process has been to update our plan documents. I do want to point out that if you look in the agenda, you will see 2 401A plan documents. One of them is bringing us up to September 1st. Unfortunately, we were out of compliance with some law changes that happened last year. Our previous TPA did not reach out to us to make the adjustments. So when we started down this process, they said we have 2 years to bring it up to compliance, and one of them is bringing it up to compliance. Then for the other document, it's from September 1st going forward, and then the 403B is also from September 1st going forward. We made a few changes, nothing huge, but I did want to talk a little bit about them. Previously, for the payout options, it was only lump sum payouts. Well, that kind of had a problem if people were taking their required minimum distribution. They would have had to take the entire amount rather than just taking the amount that was required of them. So we added new ways for them to do partial withdrawals from that. We increased the mandatory cash out if somebody is no longer working for School City. It used to be that just $1,000 and under they would receive a check for. Now $1,000 and under they will receive a check for, but then anything between $1,000 and $5,000 they'll get it put into an IRA. And then they will work directly with One America on how they would like to handle the IRA. That way, it's no longer something that we're in charge of the record keeping for. They'll be their own overseers of their plan. The normal retirement age was, for some reason, 65 on the 401A, and we just brought it to 59 and a half, which is pretty common for retirement plans, which is what the 403B was. We synced the default beneficiaries, so they're both, if for some reason they don't have a beneficiary on the plan, or if unfortunately something were to happen to the beneficiary on the plan, it would go first to the spouse, then to the child or children, then the parents, and then the estates. For some reason, we also did not have it that if the spouse was the beneficiary but they were divorced, it was revoked. So we did add that to the plan. I know that from doing life insurance that a lot of people don't think about updating their beneficiaries, so hopefully help people with that. We changed the definition of disability. On one plan, it was just Social Security disability. On the other plan, it has Social Security disability, but then you could also have documentation from a physician stating that you would be unable to work for at least a year due to a disability. So we changed it so that both plans stated that. Our 401A has always acted as a matching component for administrators for the 403B, and for some reason, it wasn't laid out that way in the plan documents. We weren't outside of the documents by doing that. It was just listed as discretionary on how we put money into it. We kept that wording, but then we also added the wording about the matching components. And then we also added hardship distributions for the 403B. Before, we only had hardship loans. So those are the changes that we made to that. And then, Matt, if you'll go to the next slide. I also wanted to talk about some of the benefits with working with One America. We've had a rough couple of years with our TPA and our record keepers. They've had a lot of changes in how they handle things and have become very kind of hard to get a hold of, so that if there are problems, they're not getting solved. So we started working with One America in the hopes of addressing that and just simplifying things. We also only have 160 employees out of the approximate 800 that are eligible participating, so we also wanted to find a way to try to make that a little bit easier for employees to sign up. So by working with One America, they will do both the TPA services, so reviewing of loans, reviewing of requests for distributions, and the record-keeping services. So anything that goes through, any money that goes into them, they have everything in-house instead of in two different places. Employees will have the ability to just log on and register for a 403B account. They no longer have to make a phone call, set up an appointment, go in and meet with somebody. They can work on the 403B account themselves. They don't have to work with a financial advisor, but they could also work with a financial advisor to choose their investments. If they're not comfortable with that, they would just automatically go into the default fund, which is just a target date fund. And then we also will have the ability to provide better financial education through emails, in-person webinars. We're really excited about the opportunity to improve our 403B and 401A plans and improve our offerings to our employees. That is that. Sorry. It is recommended that the Board of School Trustees approve the updated 403B and 401A plan documents with One America as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments?
Thank you for all your work on doing that. I know it's overwhelming at times.
Thank you, Dave.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Jenny. 9.02, approval of the professional services with Amber Marsh for the Mishawaka High School football field improvements. Mr. Miskin.
Good evening, President Parks, Dr. Stevens, ladies and gentlemen of the school board. It's my pleasure tonight to recommend that Marsh Consultants provide turf design solution that is durable, low maintenance, and cost effective. Their team will be readily available for sites, visits, and progress supervision, ensuring that the project gets completed on time and within budget. The project consists of field concept and development plan for a new synthetic turf football field. Steve Ruby is here tonight, just in case we have board has questions. He will be the lead. He's been assigned the project, and he's worked on previous sports projects and has experience in developmental of synthetic turf fields. The total cost of Abermarsh's services is $160,000, and the proposed services and cost breakdown is attached in your packet, and it'll be funded by the 2023A General Obligation Bond. If you had any questions before I finish, Steve and Alex are here from Abermarsh. If not, I'll just...
You guys like to have Steve talk?
You guys...
Could you have Mr.
Yeah.
Ruby step
Sure.
up to the... Hi, Steve.
Hi there.
I will say that in an earlier time, Steve used to work for me, and I've done a lot of building around town, and Steve was my project manager. I mean, he was my go-to guy, and I will tell you that he did a great job. So, I mean, I am sure that he will do an absolute magnificent job with this. The question I've got is that construction administration that's probably what, a full-time equivalent person for 4 months?
Approximately.
Yeah, so we'll have somebody at our beck and call, full-time for a 4-month period. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay. Very good.
As always, if there are any problems, we are gladly address anything that comes up. As we look at this project, there's aging infrastructure. We're going to make sure things go properly as it goes through to bring it up to a state-of-the-art facility similar to peers in the area. So I think it's a great project. Looking forward to working with the team, assisting any way in developing this project.
Okay.
Any other questions?
That's it for me.
Angie, anything?
No, we, talked earlier about the total amount. Now, I don't remember what Alex said, something about, was it a report that possibly may or may not be needed? And if it's not needed, would that take the cost off the total?
But what I was saying is that we'll be involved.
So it's not duplicated.
Correct. Correct. If there's any duplication, we'll bring it back to the board to figure out what needs to be adjusted accordingly. At this time, though, we anticipate this being our fee.
Okay. I appreciate it, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Good luck, Steve.
So with that being said, it is recommended that the Board of School Trustees approve professional services with Apper-Marsh as presented.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
No, I didn't.
Second.
Any other questions or comment? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
9.03, approval of the paid lunch prices for 2023-2024 school year. Ms. Boland.
Thank you, President Parks, Dr. Stevens, members of the board. As part of the Hunger-Free Kids Act of 2010, school food authorities are required to review their paid lunch revenue and either increase it so that we come close to or we match the targeted rate. So for 23-24, the targeted rate is $3.56. Now, if you have a healthy balance, you can ask the waiver from the USDA so that we don't have to increase it. And so that's what we're doing for the 23-24 school year. We're keeping the same prices as 22-23.
Great. It's pretty expensive to eat lunch at school these days. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. 10 is policy updates. 10.01 Teacher Appreciation Grant Policy 3220-.01. Ms. Pettit.
Good evening. This is a teacher appreciation grant that we have to renew every year and by the 15th of September. So the IDOE requires this, and it is recommended the Board of School Trustees re-adopt Policy 3220-01 for the 23-24 school year and waive the requirement of a second vote.
I need a motion.
Move for approval.
So, second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. 11, Superintendent's Report and Action Items. Dr. Stevens. 11.01, Superintendent's Update.
Thank you, President Parks. The first item I have for you is 11.02, which is the recommendation to approve a resolution regarding social media litigation. In the past, School City of Mishawaka joined a multi-district litigation, also known as an MDL, for those law aficionados out there, with 86 other school corporations pertaining to vaping. The same legal firm is now working through an MDL suit against social media companies alleging damages caused to students and schools. More specifically, the litigation asserts that social media companies engaged in deceptive practices by designing and promoting their products to attract and addict children. If approved by the School City Mishawaka Board, this resolution authorizes the law firm of Wagstaff and Cartmel LLP to initiate litigation and file suit against any appropriate parties to seek compensation to the district for damages suffered by the district and its students as a result of the development, operation, and marketing of social media platforms, and to seek any other appropriate relief. Like the Jewel litigation, this is a contingency fee arrangement, meaning the law firm takes payment upon a successful outcome. This resolution has been reviewed by our own legal counsel, Mr. Mike Triple, and has been deemed appropriate for your approval should you see fit. So with that, we're seeking your approval of the recommendation seeking your approval on this item. Goodness gracious.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments?
So basically, it's no money out of our pockets, but we'll get 75% of our
The
portion
pot.
back,
Yeah.
and then lawyers get 20.
Has anything happened with Jewel yet? I mean, that was a few years back.
Yeah, so you may recall the board approved a resolution to accept payment from
And we
their
received it?
first settlement, but we have not yet received that payment, so we have everything in line to receive it, but have not received anything yet from that.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe it will come in a rainy day. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. 12 is communications, 12.01, public announcements. The next meeting of the School City of Mishawaka Board of School Trustees will be September 13th. Will it be here? Here at the Administration Center. If there's nothing else to come before the board, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your week and welcome back.
What happened to these hour-and-a-half, 2-hour meetings?
I know, right?
But they're all tired. They're all tired.
I mean,